Hello, people, and we are going to talk about a mass liquidation event. It's going to affect Solana the most, but it might not be as devastating as some people hope it will be. We're obviously talking about the September 13th, that is next week, and to be more exact, that's actually next Wednesday, where they could be liquidating all these assets. Now, this is FTX, but I think they have a clause where they can only liquidate 100 million or 200 million per week. So it's not all going to dump at once. And once again, they hired Galaxy Digital to be the one that actually dumps their coins. And let's not forget, Galaxy Digital has invested in crypto a lot. So they don't actually want the price to drop that much. So they're going to be very, very careful on how they dump these coins. They might not care too much on assets they don't actually own, but on assets that they own, they're really going to care a lot. So, cryptocurrency exchange FTX has been granted approval to liquidate assets as of September 13th, with plans to sell up to 200 million of digital coins per week. This decision comes amid growing regulatory pressure and allows the company to focus on its core business. With assets of 3.4 billion in April, this move could help establish FTX as a mainstream asset in the future and could ultimately benefit the broader crypto industry. Not really sure if that's true or not. Not going to say much of that. I highly doubt that FTX is going to be mainstream again because they kind of like died and scammed a lot of people. And I think damage reputation is damaged goods. But they can liquidate up to $200 million in crypto assets a week. And that could actually be enough selling pressure to bring certain coins down. Which coins, you ask? Well, let's take a look. So these are the holdings of FTX. They have $685 million of Solana. These are in millions, by the way. $529 million of FTT, $268 million of Bitcoin, $90 million of Ethereum, $67 million of Aptos, $42 million of Doge, $39 million of Polygon, $35 million of whatever the hell this is, $31 million of TON, $29 million of XRP, $245 million of stablecoins, and over $1 billion of mixed. And this includes crypto held at third-party exchanges. I am not sure if that includes the rest of these. So they're saying the debtors currently have limited visibility into the token composition of crypto balances at certain third-party exchanges. Once obtained, information provided by these exchanges is likely to increase the balances of certain coins listed here. So they actually might have more than that of Solana, more than that of FTT, more than that of Bitcoin. So this is a red herring right here. We can't really make too many, we can't really make too many speculations of this. So that could be a big dump, but we're going to talk about the stuff that we actually do know. Let's start with the stablecoins. That's not going to affect price because stablecoins stay at $1. And $245 million is nothing to Tether USDC. We know that Tether has actually redeemed billions of dollars before, and as has USDC, so that will not affect those coins. XRP at $29 million of XRP, I doubt it'll affect it that much. It might bring it down by like a penny, but that's not enough to affect it. TON, I'm not really that sure about. It's the Telegram coin, I believe. I think the market cap might actually be low enough for it to have $31 million to affect, but it shouldn't be devastating. Polygon at $39 million, same thing. It really shouldn't affect it that much. It might dump it a couple of cents, which it will actually crawl back up very soon afterwards. Dogecoin, top 10 coins still. You're looking at that for Dogecoin. And realistically, I highly doubt it's going to affect Dogecoin all that much. Aptos is a little bit smaller. It could have a bigger effect on Aptos when they have to dump. But let's remember, for all these coins, they're not actually going to dump all at once. They can only dump a total of 200 million total per week. So it'll be a fraction of these coins. And I think at that price, it might dump Aptos like 5% maybe. But I don't actually think it'll actually dump Aptos all that much. Then you have $90 million of Ethereum. Let's be honest, $90 million not really going to affect Ethereum at all. Ethereum's a huge market cap coin, and they're not always going to dump all at once. Then you have $268 million of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is way too big to be affected by $268 million. And Galaxy Digital is heavily invested in Bitcoin. So they're going to tier the Bitcoin sell-off one at a time. So they're not going to sell Bitcoin where it's going to actually affect the price. There might be a slight bit of downward pressure on Bitcoin, but not much downward pressure if we're really being honest. And then FTT, they have $529 million of FTT. FTT is a dying coin, and it's FTX's coin. I know it's important to them because they want to resurrect FTX, but for the rest of us, we probably don't care. So it can die. If you hold FTT, that might sound harsh, but let's be honest, it's damaged goods. If you're hoping on FTT, I hope for your sake it doesn't die. But to me and most of my subscribers, I don't think we actually care all that much about FTT. So yes, it could actually be enough to bring FTT down, but I personally don't think that's going to affect the rest of the market because I think everyone and their mother expects FTT to actually go down because, it's kind of an FTX scam thing. And even though Sam Bankman-Fried is no longer associated with the coin and John Ray III is trying to turn the company around, damaged goods is damaged goods. And FTT, if it dies, I don't know if we'll be shedding a tear. Which brings us to the 900-pound gorilla in the room, which is Solana. $685 million worth of Solana. That could actually affect the price, but a lot of that is locked, so they can't sell it immediately. And remember, they would have to sell it at most over the course of a month, so that effect, even if they do sell it all, is alleviated. And I have actually been told that the Solana Foundation will buy back a lot of these. So that might not impact the price nearly as much as we think. But once again, $685 million is a lot of money. So you could see maybe a 10% drop in Solana. If you see the 10% drop in Solana on September 13th or September 12th going to next week, you'll understand why that has actually happened. So Solana's situation is a little bit different because they have so much in Solana. But once again, it's not going to be nearly as bad as people think because a lot of it is locked. They can't sell it all at once. And SOL, I believe, is not quite SOL right now because just the fact that the foundation is going to buy back maybe half of it, maybe even more. A lot of it is going to be locked. I think they can only sell maybe tens of millions a week. That downward pressure will probably have some effect on Solana, but I don't know how much effect on Solana it will actually have. So the thing is, some of these Twitter people are saying big selling pressure is potentially coming in next week. And you know what? They could be right, but based on the known factors, I don't think it'll be that big. This unknown factor right here is what really worries me. Because if a lot of that is Bitcoin, that could actually tank the entire market by quite a lot. If that's mostly all Solana and FTX, I'm really not going to care all that much. Because Solana and FTX obviously does not command the market and it won't actually make everything else go down. So that unknown bar is what we should actually be looking at. We should be praying that does not include Bitcoin, maybe not Ethereum. It's mostly Solana, FTX, or any of these smaller coins. And they are on third-party exchanges, so they may not be able to access all of them at once. But there is a risk of a bigger dump if the $1.27 billion really starts to get liquidated. Once again, it looks like altogether they have $2.5 billion worth of assets. But at only being able to sell 200 million of crypto per week, and if a lot of that is Bitcoin, you know that Mike Novogratz is not going to sell it all at once. He does not want his own investments in Galaxy Digital to dump anymore, so he's going to sell it very, very slowly if most of that's Bitcoin. Remember, they can sell up to $200 million a week. That does not mean they have to sell $200 million a week. He can actually sell some of the smaller coins to pace out the Bitcoin sales more, which is, I believe, what he's actually going to do. So I do believe he's much more willing to sell out the FTT or the Solana if it means he can actually pace out the Bitcoin sales some more. Obviously, eventually they have to sell all the coins because they have to pay back their creditors. They owe a lot of money. And just because Sam Bankman-Fried is in jail right now, for some reason he's in jail with a laptop, but he's in jail right now, does not mean FTX, under the new guidance, does not have to pay back their creditors. And they do. So they're going to have to sell these $2.5 billion in assets. It's not going to cover all their creditors, but the liquidation of all these assets might have the potential to hurt the crypto market, especially if that unknown bar composes of a lot of Bitcoin. But I do believe that if it's several $100 million in Bitcoin, he'll probably sell it out over the course of 2-3 months to alleviate the pressure. So I don't think the downward pressure is too bad. But if a lot of those unknown coins are like Solana or FTT or any other non-Bitcoin, non-Ethereum coin, it definitely could hurt that specific coin. Although, like I said, the Solana Foundation has said they would probably buy back some of the coins, and a lot of that is actually locked, which means it'll be sold over a longer period of time. So this hopefully is the final fallout from FTX. I do not believe it'll be as serious as the initial fallout of FTX, but there could be some spicy and exciting things happening next Wednesday. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.